Hello everyone, Chris Martinson of Peak Prosperity, and it is Friday, September 15th, 2017. I know what day it is because today's my birthday, so thank you to everybody on Facebook who's been wishing me well and through other channels. Really appreciate it. So, moving on, what a week. What a week it's been. Except in the markets, of course. The markets never do anything but go up and to the right. The central bankers are now painted into a corner. They don't know what to do besides keep throwing more money into these markets. You may not be aware of this, but they've thrown a little over $1.5 trillion in this year. Looks like they might hit $2 trillion this year, the most ever, just to keep everything up and elevated. But what are they not getting for all of their action? Well, they're not getting middle-class participation. They're not getting GDP advancement. They're not getting political stability. And when we look at what's really happening across the world right now, geopolitically, the big story, the number one thing, economically, financially, monetarily, that is not being talked about nearly as much as it should be in the Western press is what happened last week when China started to denominate oil contracts or oil futures in yuan. That's their local currency. So oil, for the first time since Kissinger set forth the petrodollar system back in the 70s, for the first time is going to be denominated potentially in something other than dollars. Now, this is a big deal. Why? Because a lot of people in the United States think we're the exceptional country. We hit a triple, but actually we were born on third base. And what I mean by that is we've had the world's reserve currency, not just the world's reserve currency, but the petrodollar reserve currency. And what I mean by that is that if you were any country in the world and you wanted to buy oil, you needed dollars to do that. So oil exporters accumulated a lot of dollars, about 7 trillion of them since the year 2000. And those dollars have been going around doing whatever they're going to do in the world. Now, what does it mean that China has suddenly started to denominate oil in something, excuse me, in something other than dollars? Well, it's literally a shot across the bow to the United States. And then they had a second part of that, which was saying to people, oil exporters, if you sell us this oil, we'll let you get your money back out of our country if you want, because China has capital controls. How did they announce that? Well, they're going to allow these yuan that are accumulate because of oil to be used to purchase gold that people can take out of the country. So this is part of the de-dollarization of the world. It's starting. It's going to be a long process. It's not going to happen overnight, but maybe it's going to happen quicker than we think, because Venezuela, I know, total basket case, but Venezuela just announced yesterday that they are also going to not be accepting dollars for their oil. And now, it's not insignificant. Venezuela, basket case that it is, has the number 2 oil reserves in the world in the Orinoco Belt. So Russia is starting to de-dollarize. China is starting to de-dollarize. We're starting to see Venezuela. So there's kind of a little coalition of countries saying, we'd rather not be tied to the dollar. And why not? Because look at what happened just 2 days ago. Treasury Secretary Mnuchin threatened China if they didn't come to the table around the sanctions on North Korea that the United States wanted, that one of the options the United States might pull is exactly what we pulled on Iran and Russia and other places like that. We were going to exclude Chinese banks from the SWIFT system, which is the interbank settlement system internationally. Now, when you cut somebody off like that, that's a real slap across the face. It's very undiplomatic. China, of course, not happy about being treated that way. So all of this is going on, and it's really something everybody needs to pay attention to. So 2 things about that. First, we had our, just the day before yesterday, we had our Dangerous Markets webinar. You can still enroll or purchase that to watch. Now, we had Grant Williams and we had Lance Roberts. Fantastic. We talked about all of this in depth and more. Also, we're going to be at the New Orleans Investor Conference. That's going to be October 25th to 28th. And if you want to know how to be with this material, if you want to understand that, you can come to a seminar that my wife, Becca, and myself are holding at Rowe in November, which is more about the being part, the being. So knowing is what I've just been talking to you about. What do you do about it? That's what the webinars are about that we're hosting. And then how do you be with this information? Those are the in-person seminars that we offer. So with that, just please come by. We're also talking a lot now about food and nutrition. I know it sounds off topic, but it's not. It's a portion of your living capital. And I've just got a great interview up with somebody who makes an incredible, very nutritious chocolate. As well, I'm beginning to write reports now looking at the decline in nutrition and nutritive quality in our foods over time. So with that, I will see you next week. Hey, have a great weekend if you're watching this on the weekend. Otherwise, have a great week. Talk to you later.